I would just pray that you would just breathe on this message and give us enough time. Guys, I just apologize in advance, but I thank you so much for watching this video. I might get stumped up here, but I'm just going to read from this message here. And I believe, listen carefully, because I believe that God is going to speak through you in this situation. This is titled Make Room. In Isaiah, the Lord is going to speak to you today. In Isaiah 54:2 opens with, enlarge the site of your tent, make room for more children, stretch out your curtains of dwellings, do not spare them, lengthen your tent ropes, and make your pegs, stakes firm in the ground. For you will spread out from the right to the left, and your descendants will take possession of nations, and you will inhabit deserted cities. Do not fear, for for you will not be put to shame, and you will not feel humiliated or ashamed. You will not be disgraced, for you will forget the shame of your youth, and you will no longer remember the disgrace of your widowhood. So moving on, listen closely here. In 54:5, it goes on saying, speaking to you again, more clear, for your husband is your maker, and the Lord of hosts is his name, and your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel, who is called the God of the whole earth. The installation of Isaiah, the illustration of Isaiah is poetically here. It's very poetically laid out here. Listen here in 54:6. For the Lord has called you like a wife who has been abandoned, grieved in spirit, and like a wife married in her youth when she has been shortly later rejected and scorned, says your God. Now listen, for a brief moment I abandoned you, but with great compassion and mercy I will gather you to myself again. The verse goes on to say, in an outburst of wrath, I hid my face from you for a moment, but with everlasting compassion on you, says the Lord, your Redeemer. Let the paint of the picture as let the picture paint as following with me here in verse 9 says, and forgive me, see, I told you I was going to get stuck. It's my writing, you know what I'm saying? So we're human. Let this verse paint the picture for you. For this is like the waters of Noah to me. This is God saying, for this is like the waters of Noah to me, as I swore an oath that the water of Noah would not flood the earth again. It's not happened like that ever. Of course, we'd all be dead. In the same way, I have sworn that I will not be angry with you. He's not going to be angry with you, nor will I rebuke you. Okay? In verse 10 goes on to say, for the mountains may be removed and the hills may shake, but my loving kindness will not be removed from you, nor will my covenant of peace be shaken. And so we're going on here to listen closely too here, because in verse 11 he says the Lord who has compassion on you. In verse 11, O afflicted city, storm-tossed and not comforted, listen carefully. I will set precious stones in mortar, and they will lay the foundations, and I will lay the foundations with sapphires, and I will make your battlements of rubies, and the gates shining with berry stones, and all your barrier walls of precious stones. In verse 13 follows explaining with, and in your spiritual sons will be disciples of the Lord, and great will be the well-being of your sons. In verse 14 says, you will be firmly established in righteousness. You will be firmly established in righteousness. You will be far from even the thought of oppression. Wow. You will be far from the thought of being oppression, for you will not fear, and from terror, for it will not come near you. If anyone fiercely attacks you, it will not be from me. However, it goes on saying, whoever attacks you will fall because of you. Listen carefully. I have created a smith who blows on the fire coals and who produces a weapon for this purpose. And I have created the destroyers to inflict